Make sure I run the right input on OBS.
Yep.
I looked over.
Yeah.
We've done this before.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's only like half of the stream. That's just this. Window.
Well, you know. It's one of our theoretical concept streams.
Yeah, for whatever reason, when we start it, even though it still has the actual like Steam stream thing as the like this is the window I'm supposed to be capturing, it just keeps capturing the stream. Anyways, we are all live and ready to go here for another Super Robot Sundays here on Sound Goblin Gaming. Let's continue our playthrough of Super Robot Wars 30. We're off to a little bit of a late start today because we had some hardware fruffery to get around with, which hopefully means we will not have any more controller issues today. Since we're now using a proper game controller. I'm, as always, Bograt.
I'm the Krampus.
I'm good.
I'm Hunter Green.
And I'm Vincent.
Who the hell is that? I
Who,
do not recall that
Renee?
person. Yeah.
That's Guy's cousin.
Okay.
That was the person that was in Galleon when they came and were...
Yes, but Hunter wasn't here.
Oh, okay, right.
Oh, right, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Sorry, it all blends together.
Yes, you would not know her.
Yes, we
If
got
you
her.
weren't already aware of.
Yes, we got her, and we got Soldado J. We basically
Oh, okay.
unfucked the Conqueror King stuff from
speaking
taking
of.
them all over.
Yep.
And yes, they joined us and already have enough kills to be aces, so we get their ace chats.
Yeah.
We also have actual Gal Gaigar now.
Yes.
Because they summoned Galleon from 8 years ago, back when he first showed up, to this time, because one of the better men has the ability to manipulate objects through time. His name is Rice.
Yeah, that surprised me.
Yeah, so they pulled Galleon forward in time to help us here, and then they will send him back in time
To exactly
his
when they-
original point.
Yeah. Which one did we want to do next? Because I remember this being specific.
I think we put off where it all leads, because that has a choice in it. One of the.
We definitely put that
Skills.
off.
Well, I think we put it off last week because
Yeah.
people weren't here.
I know one of these has a time limit.
World
that's
and
going to
Turmoil.
force it.
has a-
World in Turmoil will kick off, I think, before we complete one other of these missions, because it's 5.
Yeah, we
it
have
shows
like 1 or 2 more before it kicks off. We'll be forced to do that when it happens.
Yeah. I don't think it ends the chapter.
It almost certainly does, but it doesn't matter that it ends the chapter. None of the others
Yeah,
of these.
I think we've done all the missions.
No, these disappear. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, World in Turmoil has a 5-mission timer. Where It All Leads does have a scale choice, because that's the one where we get the 30th.
Yeah.
Feelings Offered gets us virtually nothing. Just progresses the NT storyline.
As is the usual for anything that progresses the NT
As
storyline.
is like 90% of the missions.
A Brave Lineage alt route also basically gets us nothing. It's like a couple power parts.
Yeah. Yeah, so we might as well do where it all leads. All right.
And Unknown Horizon gets us a couple power parts.
Yeah.
What stupid philosophical question will we get this time?
And well, either of them get the point.
Where are we on points right now?
We have 2 lefts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't answered anything wrong is going to be the word I'm using, but that's not quite right.
No, we haven't answered anything right.
But we haven't answered anything right, that's true.
Yes, we have not yet given any of the answers that disagree with Caroleum's philosophy. Asterisk.
This is Kincaid now all over again.
No, Kincaid was then. It's philosophy now.
It's philosophy time.
You set yourself up for that one. You realize that, right?
I intentionally set myself up for that one.
Also, I don't know who you're talking about. Just hear my good friend
Seabook Arno. and his girlfriend, Cecily Fairchild. Not notorious pirate Kincaid Now and his commander, Bararona. My favorite part about that whole one is, so you've got Kincaid Now and Bararona, where it's, one of these names is fake, one of these names is real. Now, mind you, Kincaid Now and Bararona both sound fake. But then you get Seabook Arno and Cecily Fairchild. One of these names is real, one of these names is fake. The fake one is not the one you think it is.
No.
Somebody had to write Seabook on that man's birth certificate.
It's a good name.
It is one of those things where it's like, is this another, like, Ribbons mistranslation? Is it
No.
supposed- Like, is it
No, his
supposed-
name is Seabook.
Yeah.
I feel it's no different than someone else deciding that, oh, we're going to name our child. Well, clearly, the heir to the great Cod family needs to be named Brave.
Okay, no, Brave Cod is actually a code name.
Okay, that is a code name.
Yes, Brave Cod is not that character's actual name. All of the people in that have code names. We don't know what their real names are, so we can only refer to them by their code names. That's why he's Brave Cod. That is much the same situation as like the fucking idiot like Bring Stabity and all that shit,
those ones
where
are
these are
code
just we made up these names. Like they're not technically code names for them. Like those are their names, but they're like artificially created beings that were just given random fucking names that are all supposed to be.
That are all messed up versions of these were clearly what they meant to call them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Not all messed up. Revival came out fine.
A new returner. Perfectly fine.
the new return is actually one of the weirder ones because she's not a combat innovate. So
No,
She's still an innovate.
no. You see, the non-combat innovates get normal.
generally
names.
get normal names.
Oh, that's true.
That's how we end up with what was it, like Luke or whatever. They're just an innovate that just has a regular fucking name.
That's Jim. He's perfectly fine.
Look, there are some who call him Jim.
Is he a juggler?
Like, yeah, most of the cast of 00I just have normal names.
Yeah.
and they're all innovates.
Yeah, they're just not combat invades.
There's the Bad Girl family. One of the many issues with Seed.
Runs into the same like naming problems as like Star Wars does. I annoy people quite frequently in my Star Wars group because they're coming up with all these names and throwing in a bunch of apostrophes and shit. And I point out that one of the generals of the rebellion was just named Bob Hudsell.
Yep.
It's like, I'm pretty sure I called Bob Hudsell when my pipes burst last week.
Isn't there like a Jedi whose name is like horrifically common? That there's literally like millions of people on the planet that potentially have the exact same name as him.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Jedi John Smith.
Yeah, I mean they are all coming like trying to come up with all these like fantastical names. Like, oh, it has to sound Star Warsy. It's like the main character of the original trilogy is named Luke.
Yeah.
It's a fucking biblical name. Like literally millions of people on our planet have that name.
That's the second most biblical name I've ever heard, next to Faith Bibble.
It's like you do not have to have two apostrophes and consonant combinations that do not occur in nature in your name to make it Star Warsy.
My response is, you keep it to the Twi'leks. They have had that for a while. Anyone else? No.
I like the idea of people with normal names getting weird looks. Like, what's your name? My name is Frank.
And I did give one of my Star Wars characters a long, weird name, but I also included way too much information in the name, where the name also basically included the planet he was from, his caste within his society.
Yes, Arden Orontes do Descimento.
Yeah. It's a character. Like, made entire backstories for why the character, why his people's names were like that.
Were you mentioning something, Vince?
Just the general. This is also the weird trait, or the weird sub-trait of sci-fi, to really compartmentalize basically entire cultures into species.
Yeah.
Which,
Planet of Hats.
yes, very much a Planet of Hats thing.
George
It's like
Lucas-
technically anyone could have any type of name you really want in that galaxy.
Yeah. I mean, it's a galaxy where planets are a singular biome.
Well, yeah, they were built that way.
Like you say that, and I was like, you might be right.
No, I am.
Well, and planets where more than one like species or culture exist in, they are like separated on hard lines. Like this city is this species and only this species. Like you look at something like Naboo from the prequels, where like both the Gungans and humans live, and it's like there aren't any humans living in the Gungan cities, and the Gungans don't really live in the human city. Like
I mean,
this
hell,
is not realistic in the slightest.
Yeah, you look at like not even in the movies, even in the books did this. Anytime they dealt with Mon Calamari, the surface cities were where the Mon Cals lived. The Quarrens
Quarren were
lived
underwater, yeah.
underwater, and they did not mix. Well, the Quarrens came to the surface for space travel, but they didn't live there. Also, it came through like a fucking plague.
Every day you get closer and closer to being a JRPG villain.
Oh, I meant in the Star Wars universe specifically.
Well, yeah, they got to that galaxy off of the ship they left Earth from in THX 1138, and then just spread like wildfire.
Well, I've never seen THX 1138. Was that in the past? Okay, no, sir.
Trying to actually understand THX 1138 is a little bit like trying to drink from a fire hose.
Does that mean I found the marble meal? All right. That movie's so good.
Yep, that sure is a lot of enemies. You know I could still probably kill all of these guys with just him, and probably...
Yes, thank you for all this experience. And money.
Well, money, really.
Let us begin our dialogue. I have a wolf, a chicken, and a bag of grain on one side of a...
I shoot the wolf.
This is the first time we actually get to see the Gravelin.
Ah,
Failing to understand my limits is what I do.
Your mothership undefended. Have you seen what else is on the Dry Striker? It's never undefended. Have you seen Dry Striker itself? It's not undefended.
勝利を我が手にこれがトライストレーガーはやらせねえ王は全てを決す
Eek.
yarg.
Oh no, he hit me with a cutscene attack.
release balance.
Oh god.
What you want?
That's
I'm
what
not
it's
cleaning
called,
that up.
No, I'm sure the Dress Trigger is fine.
The only way I can get hard. I mean,
Now, there's
Something
a
about
raft
kids.
in the lake that can only fit 2 things on the shoulder.
Like I said, you shoot the wolf.
but you don't have a gun.
Fine. You leave the wolf behind.
What's your question?
Okay, so here's the actual question.
Make perfect clones. Bill's Edge makes perfect human copy.
Copy has all the abilities, qualities, memories of the original. Is the copy of him? Would you treat the copy of him the same as the original?
Do I need to copy?
Yes.
Okay.
You know that it is a clone. You know that the original Edge has died.
Well, they can make perfect clones effectively. How would you treat the new clone? Knowing that the original.
I turn the same.
Yeah, I'd agree. Treat the clone the same.
Okay, congratulations, you've made your first right scale choice.
I mean, again, this is one of those things where, like, if you put any thought into it, that
Of course, anytime you pick what would be the right choice, he's the opposite.
Well, no.
Well, no. When I say
Right.
right, I mean direction right, not
Yes.
correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was saying, if we want to pick the left side of the scale, you need to pick whatever is not the correct choice.
No.
See, I disagree with that. The clone is a different person.
Also, there isn't correct or incorrect choices. There's left scale and right scale choices.
Yeah.
yeah, these aren't like wrong or right. At least the questions themselves. Jackass over
Not
here.
objectively, but
Yeah.
Objectively, they are famous thought experiments that have been done many times before.
I haven't done, but they've been posed.
yeah.
At the very least, I haven't heard of someone.
I made a perfect clone.
I haven't heard of someone actually he tried to implement the trolley problem in real life.
Look, I set up my situation where I made a perfect clone, and then I also tied a person to some people to train.
I tied the original to the train tracks and made a perfect clone of them.
Now, if you don't pull the lever, you will crush 5 perfect copies of me.
But if you do pull lever, you'll kill one
Original.
And I have to probably do both tracks.
But then, once the original is destroyed, I rebuild him using parts from the perfect copies. Is he still the original or not?
Yes, I need to use the find body to ship a Theseus another clone. Before you ask, yes, I'm a monster.
So I've created a clone that is perfect in thought, mind, action, and feeling, except it's also covered in Frankenstein scars, because I'm not good at that part.
Here goes Mitsuba killing again.
All right, let's see how many of these things can kill themselves on the Dread Striker.
All of them. All of them that can reach. Cowards.
No, they can't move and attack.
Like I said, cowards. Why didn't they just activate their Tekadons more?
Exactly.
Why didn't you make a perfect clone of Orga if you were so fucking smart? I feel like you're not taking this as seriously as you do.
No, I take it perfectly seriously. Who's up for cloning? Please raise your hand.
Yeah, yes it is.
No,
I,
the Striker-
I didn't even activate wall.
These are small craft. The Striker is a 1.5 mile wall. There's practically nothing in this entire game that's a threat for the Jet Striker.
I can say with perfect certainty it can solo this battlefield.
Captain, I opened one of the windows and threw a brick at one of them and it exploded.
Well, they're not all that weak. The Striker's just a beast. Hey, folks.
I did misread that. And I was worried that he wasn't going to get his little sister or his pants back.
Well, he's not getting his pants back.
I'm keeping those. I can't. My models only turn this direction.
That's bullshit. There's clearly a flip tool here. I've seen it used constantly.
Uh-uh.
Maybe a problem. He has a symmetrical model.
Skill.
Yes.
Bird's gonna fly right into that hole.
I live my life 1 mile at a time.
No, Bert just loved the sound of my voice.
The Huckabee Tourette.
My finger is getting tired of hitting the fire button constantly. Ah.
an original song, so theoretically shouldn't get our VOD muted.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be fine.
Allow me to die on it.
Look, the first one to die.
You're not Edge anymore. I'm
Not Edge
Edge.
capital and Edge lowercase.
I'm not EDGE.
俺はどんな時でも俺なんだよ。やるぜ。ユッケマインサーチ。ブラックホールキャノンセット。で終わらせる。
That's the Edge designed for glorious Stormlink.
Take that, space.
Tried to ground just a second. What I call it, 8 minutes.
Those are rookie numbers.
It's a cutscene, it's just tied to its health. Okay, let's try not to lose by having Edge shot down some fucking how. Alright, this is... Enemy gets to go first and commit suicide. Got it.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, it's still enemy turn.
I mean, enemies breaking themselves on the Death Dragon started this.
Yes, just this is entirely a different board at this point. Just Strider isn't where I put it.
Still our turn?
こっちも死ぬ気はねえのさ。 AI の動きなんてのは丸分かりなんだよ。ディープスラッシャー、あいつを切り裂け。 頭の芯が冷えてきた。俺は借りは忘れねえ男だ。確実に仕留める。ここまで詰めて落ちやがれ。ざっとこんなもんだ。
So it is also worth noting, it's not a, hasn't really come up before, but the two protagonists for Super Robot Force 30 do actually have different themes, like
Yes, they
different
do.
theme music, and there's an entirely different song that plays when Az gets the 30th as opposed to when Edge gets the 30th, because they have their first theme, which is basically the first half of the game, and then their second theme, which is
Yeah, so
the back half.
basically between the two, there's 4 songs in total.
Yeah. Because we have Divine Beast for Az and Sleeping Beast for Edge, which are their first ones. And then Edge's second theme is called Bird of Ill Omen Descends. And Az's is Black Wings. Now, I'm a little biased, but I think overall Edge wins out in that contest at least, because both of Edge's themes are Jam Project songs sung by Masaki Endo.
Really tough to beat that.
Like, Az's songs aren't bad, but like, come on, man, Jam Project. Like,
こっちだって死にたくないんだ。チャンスは今だ。翼の出力を限界まで。
What's the largest thing? That guy.
So since there's nothing else particularly interesting to discuss while we go through the rest of this mission, I want to return to the scale choice we were given in this one
Okay.
to ask both Hunter and Krampus to follow it further. So let's say, pretty much entirely the same situation, right? Perfect cloning technology. Clone has all the abilities, experiences, memories, etc. of the person being cloned. But the original hasn't died. Do you treat the clone as if they're the same person as the original, or are they a different person?
I would say starting out, I treat them as the same person, but as they develop different experiences through their own personal thing, I then start treating them differently.
Yeah, first off, to answer your question, yes, I would treat the clone the same as the original, even if the original was still alive and kicking, because to me it boils down to one specific part of the question. If they have the same experiences, memories, and personality, if they act exactly the same and do not deviate from the original, then sure. The thing is that the moment that they start to deviate from that, then they form their own individuality.
They deviated by not being dead. Like, in the base question, the original is dead. Their memories ended. The second the clone wakes up, their memories have deviated.
So yes and no, they basically are the person just before they died. So it's basically the experience of a person who went to sleep and wakes up. I don't treat you any differently because you went to sleep and woke up.
Okay, follow-up question. Let's presume that there is an AI. Valgrad already knows where we're going to go with this. And this AI is capable of creating simulations that include perfect copies of you.
I want you to know the de-evolution getter boys are screaming on the Dreistrager right now. They don't know why, but they're screaming.
So this AI is capable of making perfect simulations of reality.
Okay.
And thus including perfect simulations of yourself in reality.
Okay.
You know this AI exists now. Or will exist in the future.
Okay.
And it will basically use its powers. The whole point of this AI is that it will use its powers for the good of all humanity. Okay, Vince, now pick up on getting to.
Yeah, I
The second you were like, there's an AI that can create simulations, like, shut the fuck up about Roko's Basilisk. Roko's Basilisk is tech bros furiously masturbating themselves.
So fucking dumb.
so dumb.
I'm unfamiliar with this, and I feel better off for that.
So basically, it's the strictly speaking, the fact that, or the idea that there will be an AI so complex that it is capable of making simulations complex enough to one-to-one recreate reality, first off means that the likelihood that we are in fact in one of said simulations and not in actual reality is greater than, basically it's a greater possibility that we are in one such simulation than realities, because there would be only one reality and a potentially infinite number of said simulations, right?
And then you also further the fact that now that you're aware of the existence of that this AI will come into existence at a certain point, and that the creation of this AI will only lead to the further betterment of all life, or all humanity, that you should do everything in your power to make this AI
Make sure that it comes to be.
and failing to do so, the AI will punish you in simulations. But since these simulations are effectively exact copies of you and exact replicas of reality,
But they're not me.
are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure you're not the simulation that's going to be tortured because you didn't?
But the simulated you has all the same experiences, memories, everything that makes you you, according to what you just said.
Which also means if it tortures the simulation, it is also effectively torturing.
No. Because I am not the simulation.
Are you sure?
Yes.
How's that?
Well, if I am the simulation, I mean, comes for something I didn't do as the simulation.
Except you did, because it's an exact, perfect copy of you, so any choices you made...
An exact copy does not mean the actual product, though.
Does
The
in this
actual
case.
thing. That doesn't. Simulation.
It is a perfect recreation of you in every possible way.
The question is not, or the question as proposed by.
No,
the
his question is
questions.
different.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Boko's Bass has nothing to do with it.
I mean, the question we are coming to here has moved it back towards Ceruleum's question. But actual Roko's Basilisk has nothing to do with Ceruleum's
Roko's
question.
Basilisk is the
Back to
justification.
this question to
people
the left or
use
to the
murder
right?
Roko's Basilisk is what people who read Harry Potter fanfiction use as an excuse to murder people.
And there are people who are like super scared about the concept of Roko's Basilisk. I just think it's fucking...
It's absolutely
It's
fucking
absolutely
silly.
silly.
For one thing, it accepts inevitability of like predestined future.
Yeah.
Yeah, the AI will exist. Within the thought experiment.
But I just find it interesting because, like, the thing I think is very interesting about all the Ceruleum scale questions is they are all, I mean, straight up philosophical. But yeah, they are all, you know, pretty deep philosophical thought experiments.
Chain smoking.
If you didn't catch it, he said, I don't give a crap about your questions.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, it's absolutely the Getter Boys. Like, you want to make me think? Fuck that, eat Getter beans.
That's what you're saying, Josh?
I'm just saying, like, yeah, yes, the idea is that they are all philosophical thought experiments that in some way evoke a consideration of morality or at least ethical questions. But because they are ethical questions, there is not a like objectively correct answer to them. Like, as was brought up, like most of the other time, I've mostly agreed with where we've gone with this. This one, I actually diametrically oppose. I believe that the perfect clone is absolutely a different person. Because again, the second they come
So-
into being,
To nitpick a little, that wasn't the question.
well, do you treat them as the same or the different person?
Yes, but that doesn't mean they're the same person necessarily.
Yes, but I mean the way that Hunter and Krampus addressed it was as essentially they treat them as the same person because they consider them to be the same person. Was kind of what Krampus was
I more or
saying.
less
Yeah, and there's also a lot of nuance into to how you interpret the question.
Yes.
To things like that. So, there,
Ran off before I could kill him.
Yeah, that was how this one went. Either
Yeah,
kill him
yeah.
or kill him.
I don't.
Or waste 8 turns was also an option somehow.
I don't want to hit him with a black.
Oh no, we missed out on the vanishing thruster.
I don't want to get hit with a black hole.
And yes, 8 turns elapsed is also a victory condition of this mission. I do not know how that is physically possible.
Going
I
for
don't
pacifist
attack.
run.
That's how it's
I'm
physically
sorry,
possible. That's the
they'll-
only way it's physically possible.
Specifically defend every time
Yep.
they
Yeah.
swing at you.
I'm sorry. I presented that question the wrong way. So I'm about to be hit with a black hole cannon. Do I run away or do I stay engaged?
Ah, scale tipped left.
That was number 4?
That was 3.
That was 3? Okay.
I think we're about
So
to
we're
get-
2 left.
Wait,
side
no,
by side.
number 4 is literally in the mission that's on a timer.
Yeah, which may be forced after this. But I don't know if we did 4 or 5.
No, we've got I think 2 missions left before we hit that. We didn't do that many since it showed up.
But whenever World in Turmoil happens, that is one of the questions.
But we're 2 left, 1 right currently?
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, if you choose the right option on the next one, then we are forced to do left for the final one. If you choose the left option for the next one, we can do either one for the final one.
I'm going to try to game it for the next one.
I mean, don't try and game it.
No.
Make your actual choice.
Again, it doesn't actually matter.
Yeah.
Like we can fix it no matter what.
We will
Yeah.
force the choice, the left choice, no matter what you guys say.
Okay, sorry. Let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
I'm going to before we commit. I'm going to say what I believe, and then I'm going to say what I think the
They
game
want
wants
this left and right.
wants for the left choice.
Yeah, like we were always going to ignore your guys' choices to make sure
Oh,
we
yeah.
had 3 left.
Yeah, we're getting the true ending path because we're not playing through the game a second fucking time to show off the true ending path.
It would be a lot quicker, still take way too much time.
Yeah.
All right, fifth answer. I have a dice.
I mean, ostensibly, technically speaking, it would be almost immediate because I could basically do the entirety of the game off stream except for the final path.
Yeah.
And I would just turn on auto because I don't care.
Yeah.
Also, it's on New Game Plus at the.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping the next game has
Like-
auto as well.
Maybe yes, maybe no. Y very much appears to be going back to a traditional style SRW game from what we've seen so far about it.
Oh,
The auto battle thing is
I like
not
it as an
necessarily.
option.
Yeah, it's weird though. It doesn't feel like as good an idea for scenarios that have SR points you have to earn.
I'm fine.
I'd mostly want it not for main story, but for anything that's like grinding.
There aren't grinding missions in traditional SRW games.
Yeah, only this one's grinding missions because of the whole thing of it.
Yeah. Traditional SRW games is you complete scenario 1, you move to scenario 2, etc., through scenario usually 51. Like there are no there might be occasional little things you unlock, but they're usually not even full scenarios. They are little like side story things, and they are single instances which at most field like 3 or 4 units, and you can't repeat them. Well, you can, you just don't get anything out of repeating them. They usually you do them and you get like a power part or 2 and some money. And those are also generally tied, like in modern era, have been tied to the DLC packs for the game.
This game is the huge outlier compared to how traditional.
Well, that
Which I'm a
doesn't-
little upset that they went back to the traditional, because I really did like the design of 30, but at the same time, I also understand.
At the same time, like I can just the amount of work that went into
Yeah.
to make this one compared to a traditional game.
Like that doesn't help, but I also my brain mixes up G-Gen and Super War gameplay a lot.
Yeah.
Well, and
I'm not really into strategy RPG.
yeah,
At least
well,
as
and
far as that works.
G-Gen does technically have grinding missions, although the grind missions in Generations were actually originally DLC. They didn't come as part of the base game, and then the quote-unquote grind missions in Crossrays were just dispatch.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just grind regular.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
repeat
G-Gen.
missions. You can repeat as much as you want missions in
They
G-Gen
weren't
to get stuff out of
designed for
them.
grinding like the grinding missions.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can repeat missions as much as you want in general in SD Gundams.
Yeah. But yes, in SRW games, no, they are just a straightforward. You play through the story.
And honestly, you don't need missions in this game at all.
No.
Not even. Like, not without the DLC. It's certainly not with the DLC.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're actively trying to field every unit in the roster. for some reason.
And also max out their levels.
Unnecessary boost to the Striker. Okay.
Okay, we could probably get one more mission in because it's just now 3 o'clock.
Is that SP boost or NV boost?
EN boost for the translator.
Absolutely. It does have a useful thing at the end.
All 3 of these were basically garbage. Okay.
We get power parts out of them. That's basically all it is. We can get a Minovsky drive from Feelings Offered. We can get a Wizard Operator and an S adapter from Unknown Horizons. And we can get... Where are you? I've got it pulled up. I just got to scroll to it.
Cutscene.
Brave Lineage, alt route. We get a comeback attack and an SP recoverer. So, mostly power parts that we're not actually going to use anyways. Like, I love the secondary ability on Minovsky Drive, except all the ones you would really want to use it on are terrain locked anyway, so it does fuck all.
Yeah.
Does not do what you want to do on the Apex, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really irritating because that's the thing is like previous SRW games, that's literally what the Minovsky Drive was for.
Yeah, build giant space units on
Ground maps by making them air capable, but it's like, no. Now we've introduced this thing of units being terrain locked, so the Minovsky Drive doesn't work on them. And I'm like, what the fucking point? I already have things that just make things S. Like,
again, it's like there's one unit you probably give a shit about in this entire game that matters to.
and it's the one it doesn't work on.
And no one who cares much the B packs is actually good, but
Yeah.
it's just not.
I mean, Wizard Operator is decently nice, again, for the secondary, but the fact that it doesn't stack with any other boosts means we already have a bunch of other stuff, because it's the increased experience credits and PP
It's the
from,
boost everything one.
by 25% for enemy kills.
Sure, we can put it on someone who doesn't have a booster. You don't have that many earnings. But
Yes, but also we are decently well past the point where it fucking matters.
Okay. Did you guys have any preference? Because I really don't.
We'll go with the one that gets us 2, I guess. So, Unknown Horizons.
Okay. Nothing else special about this mission?
Nope.
I don't have to shoot Nay with,
It's an Elgheim.
yeah, that's
Mission.
why I'm asking whether I need
No.
to shoot Nay
No.
with.
it's a rare Elgine mission where you
It's-
don't
it-
get A points.
It's a special scenario, so they don't usually do that in those, because this is actually entirely missable, technically.
That's correct. San Francisco is not a very valuable location. God damn it. Now, that's not your name, is it? That's a little creepy.
Also, strictly speaking, none of the Elgheim points are terribly necessary.
I mean, none of the points are necessary.
Well, no.
But
But even for the actual unlocks they get us, because everything Elgheim also just has a side option of get a bunch of kills on Daba.
listen, I have to pretend I'm doing something in this game.
Like the unlock for Nemohan and Alj is like, yes, get 5 or more Nay points, or have 100 more kills on Daba to unlock this special mission that will get her. Likewise, getting Olabi and the whatever fuck Olabi's thing is called, the Cavalry Temple,
Cavalry Temple, yeah.
is do these specific things in this one mission with Olabi, or have Daba have 150 kills by the second key mission of Chapter 9. It's like, again, the only way not to do this is to like not field Daba.
Especially since, if I remember correctly, having the Elgine 2 is a kill requirement of like 80 or something like that. So if you have that, you already have more than half the kills you need for the highest requirement.
It's only 40 for the Elgime 2,
Oh, it's only 40. Oh, sorry.
but it's also 40 by like an optional mission in Chapter 4.
Like shortly after you get.
Yeah. But granted, he's going to start with some kills, but it is still like, if you have 40 or more by Chapter 4, you're going to have 150 by Chapter 9. Unless, again, you just literally stop using him entirely.
Yeah.
In which case, you're not getting the other stuff anyways.
I guess you could field him and use him only on the actual Elgine missions to score the points that require him to still get those units. But if you don't care about Elgine enough to use any of the characters around it entirely, you're not jumping through the hoops to get Nay and fucking all of me.
Yeah.
Sons with a Z, so you know it's sci-fi. You know, he really just needs a rose that's laminated and was given to him by someone.
That never works.
Suzaku's just shaking his head from inside the Red Striker. I remember those days.
Thank you, Gabe, for teaching me about multi-action in Dumb. That EX order, I don't know, how far into the game now?
Hey, you may not have known about it for all the times you've used it.
I don't really have to worry about you two.
ヘビーメタルはうるさいから嫌いだ。心の力を炎にする。は
What about the
最大
challenging
軍の
problem?
侵略は阻止してみせる。おとなしく散らがれ。準備はいいか。ファイヤージェネッカチェンジマックスキャノン。ファイヤージェネッカマックスキャノン。東はしそこだ。チャージ完了。マックスキャノンファイヤー。故郷に帰ればよかった。ロボットの心にかけて。我々は平和のために戦い続ける。
Like the Max Cannon at me. You only said Max Cannon like 5 times in the process of doing so.
They fired the Max Cannon.
Yeah, the Max Cannon.
Oh, wow.
Jay Decker fire Jay Decker fired the Max Cannon. After telling the Max Cannon, so you could fire the Max Cannon.
And he shouted, Jet Max Cannon fire, so you know he was firing the Max Cannon.
I saw that. Yes. Nice counterfire.
Nice cat. Nice cat.
That's fair.
少しはいいところを見せねえとな。逃げようったって。FIBC で終わらせるエンド。
No, not down, not down, not down. No.
It's fine, San Francisco. Nothing of value was lost.
No, this is already near France.
So even less of value was lost.
It's okay, that's not a Gundam, technically. That is a very appropriate response, though. Oh shit, it's Gundam. Fuck, 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 fuck.
Because, yes.
そう好きにはさせん。まさにエネルギーを増す。終わりだ。もらったぞキャブレ。キャブレットキャブレ、一生のバッティング。
Goddamn. This entire mission has just been a joke.
Side.
Yeah.
That doesn't even involve any of the major players because it doesn't have points for them.
press the trigger. All right.
All right, so that is probably a good point for us to call it because we are going to be forced into the key mission, which is definitely going to take longer than we've got left today to wrap up. We can do some sort of back-end support stuff here, definitely. But yeah, other than that, thank you all for joining us again for Super Robot Sundays here on Sound Goblin Gaming as we continue our playthrough of Super Robot Wars 30. We did not have any controller issues today, so we should be good to go moving forward from this and get started at our usual time. We still managed to get in 2 scenarios, though, which is about our average. We'll be back tomorrow with more of our Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon Soul Link playthrough, assuming nothing else comes up that prevents it.
Nothing is currently expected to prevent it.
Arceus will.
Thursday, we'll be back. We're coming close to wrapping up season 1 of
So we
D&D in
have-
Hindsight, right?
Okay, so we have wrapped up season 1 of D&D in Hindsight. We are moving on to a new hybrid format for season 2, where I'm going to do 1 book, and then we're going to start on, and then Krampus is going to start on our new series with.
We'll be playing in Warhammer 40,000 Chaos Gate Shadow. Or Demon Hunters.
Demon Hunters. Okay. Yeah, so that'll be on Thursday. And then we'll be right back here next Sunday with more Super Robot Wars 30. Until then, I've been Bograt.
And the Krampus.
I've been Jim.
I've been Hunter Green.
And I'm Vincent.
Have a good one, everyone.